How's it going, everybody? Hope all is well. Today we're talking about my Whitetail rifle, and we're going to generally break down what makes an exceptional hunting rifle. I'm just going to talk about principles, and I'm going to talk about my Savage Axis here in 7mm08, and we'll talk about what I've done to optimize this budget rifle. The three basic things that I kind of look for in a hunting rifle are: first, you need good terminal performance. Got to be able to take ethical shots. You need something that's accurate, and for me personally, I want something lightweight. I do a lot of active hunting, going through Laurel, side hilling, backpacking. The lighter the weight it is, the better. So those are the three things that I want to focus on. So first, we'll talk about terminal performance. First of all, the bigger the frontal area of the bullet, the bigger the caliber, the more knockdown power you're going to have. Just a fact. 30 cal is great. Secondly, you need appropriate impact energy. The more energy the bullet can deploy into the animal, the more shock and trauma is going to happen to the internal organs. So you need, appropriate impact energy for the species you're hunting. And then lastly, you'll need good bullet construction. You don't necessarily want a bullet that's going to totally fragment into multiple pieces, as this Game King did. It still did the job with one shot on a buck last year, but ideally you have something that kind of stays together and will crush through bone if you don't maybe make the best shot or the animal moves slightly. It's kind of an insurance policy to have either a bonded or an all copper bullet. Okay, so that's terminal performance, and now we'll talk about accuracy. Accuracy starts with just a good base, and even this $300 Savage is a good base. It's button rifled. Most of the rifles out there, I'll just speak for the Savage. I mean, it's plenty capable. It's a good base. Then you'll need good clear optics. If you can't see your target well, see it clearly, then you're going to have serious trouble making accurate shots. So that's important. Here I have a Leupold 4-12 by 40 millimeter objective up front. So last year I had an issue where my hands were numb and frozen cold, and my magnification ring on my scope was just wouldn't move. I was able to move it from 4 to 6 power, and that's how I shot my buck at 150 yards last year. But I've since started a company, and I make these throw levers now. Everything, the filament, all the hardware is made in the United States. I'm big on that. And it's carbon fiber filament. So it's super durable, and it weighs about, I think, 1/8 of an ounce. It's super lightweight. So now I have a throw lever, so I can turn my magnification up to where I need it. Most hunters might not think about putting a throw lever on the rifle, but I think it actually can be very helpful. And also, by having the lever on there, you don't have to take your head off the gun and check your magnification and get an index of that ring. You can just be on the gun and very easily adjust your magnification in a split second. So in a moment where seconds really count, it's nice to have a throw lever on there. The link to that is in the description. So reloading is something else that can lead to better accuracy, and something I started this year. So between just meticulous consistency, using match grade primers or components where you can, and also adjusting the overall length of the cartridge to suit your rifle. Rifles and the chamberings are something that are machined, and there are tiny variances between machinings. So some rifles will like a certain round or a certain overall length differently, and by adjusting that yourself, you can unlock some accuracy. And I'll talk about this rifle and its accuracy then here soon. Also, when it comes to accuracy, you need a steady base or chassis. This here is the flimsy, crappy base that comes with all Savage Axis rifles. But it actually has metal pillars in here. If you go and take your action out, I'll run some pictures up on the screen. If you get these pillars and make sure that they are in contact with the action, you'll have a more accurate rifle. And glass bedding can help as well. But what was going on with this particular rifle was that the action was actually just tightened down against the plastic of the stock, and that pillar wasn't in contact with the rifle. You know that it's in contact when you go to tighten that action screw down, and you have a really positive resistance to the torque that you're putting into that screw. Also, when it comes to your stock and your optic, you want to make sure that you have, when you establish a good cheek weld on the rifle, that the scope is directly in line with your eye. I'm not going to say that it's perfect on this rifle, but it's pretty close, and it's improved from my previous setup. Before I had this Aero Precision single piece scope mount on there, and that was a much higher setup than what is currently on here. I had a buddy tell me that, in fact, if your cheek weld is different shot to shot, that actually will affect your accuracy on a rifle in a similar way that your anchor point affects your accuracy with a bow. So I found that interesting. And the last thing when it comes to accuracy, a light, crisp trigger is extremely important. And what's awesome is Timney, a company that makes triggers. They make a trigger for the Savage Axis. It has great reviews, and rightfully so. So this rifle here now has a 1.5 pound pull weight, actually a little bit under that. It's a little bit tricky to set up, takes some time, some fine tuning on a coarse thread screw, so it's a little bit tough. But this trigger is now the best trigger that I have of all the rifles and guns that I have. It is exceptional. And it has, it took my groups from about a 1.4 inch group at 100 yards to now down to about a half-inch group at 100 yards. Okay, and lastly, and something that, you don't really think about when it comes to rifles probably, especially when you're looking for like the latest and greatest stuff out there, you want something that's lightweight. I don't know hardly anything about elk hunting aside from that I'm bad at it, but when it comes to getting big bucks anyway, they're typically in places that are hard to get. And so I want a lightweight and compact rifle. This rifle right here comes in at 7 pounds, 7 ounces with everything that you see on it, including the scope covers, the throw lever, this very solid mounting setup here with a single piece backcountry rail and open country or open range Leupold scope rings. So yeah, everything here weighs 7 pounds, 7 ounces. I think I have a rifle that is 7 pounds, 7 ounces without a scope on it. So yeah, awesome to have a whitetail rifle that's lightweight. Two things that are helping me here with this particular rifle is if you can find a short action that will still provide the terminal performance that you need, 308 being excellent, 7mm 08 pretty good, short action and efficient cartridges, and 308 is probably the best when it comes to this, as far as I'm aware, and maybe I'm sure there's more, but you can commonly see, you can get a 7mm 08 in like an 18-inch barrel, but especially a 308 is really going to burn all of its powder more efficiently than most cartridges. It's one of the things that makes 308 great. So yeah, an efficient cartridge where you can have a short barrel. In fact, one of the things that I've thought about doing is taking a youth model and putting it in this full-size stock. That way I have a short barrel, that's less weight off the gun. It's much more easy to manage, more maneuverable and stuff like that. I can hand load for it, get it pretty accurate. So for whitetail, it would just be excellent. But yeah, so my whitetail rifle looks different than it does last year. It's shooting more accurate than ever. This is how it's shot before I made sure that the stock was bedded correctly with the metal pillars that come with the Savage's stock. This is the group that I had at 100 yards. That's a 4-shot group at 1.4 inches. And I was having a crazy issue where as I was squeezing the trigger, the reticle would move on me. And between that and now having a 1.5 pound trigger, that's what my group looks like at 100. That's a 3-shot group there. It's about a half an inch or so center to center. And here's at 200 yards. I dialed in my elevation because the scope is currently was not installed correctly by me. It's not exactly level, so when I made that adjustment, it also sent it off to the right. So just something I need to fix. If you have someone good working on your gun, that also helps the accuracy a lot better than having someone like me work on it. But yeah, so that's a 3-shot group, and that's under 9/10 of an inch right there. So that's pretty exceptional. So the bullet that I'm firing out of this 7mm 08 is a 139 grain LRX. Has a decent BC, has a .470 BC. It's all copper construction, so it's not going to break into a million pieces. Yeah, so this is what the cartridge looks like. And it should have enough energy, depending on altitude and air density. This will have enough energy to take an elk at between 300 to 400 yards. It will have 1,500 foot-pounds of energy. It is a 7mm bullet. It's not 30 cal, so something to consider when it comes to knockdown power and stuff like that. I'm not sure that I would necessarily use this on elk. I'm just saying that you could. And then based on the ballistics that I've seen, this will have 1,000 foot-pounds of energy out to about 600 yards, well beyond the distance that I have any business shooting at. So having a well-constructed bullet that flies efficiently is the holy grail of terminal ballistics and just ballistics as it comes to hunting. So with a gun that you can get for $370, and if you add up everything here, scope, throw, lever, the covers that, I take these off and put them on my other guns, but we'll just say this whole build right here comes out to about $1,100, $1,200. And if you can get it to shoot well, shoot consistently, you easily have something that will take whitetail, no question about it. And according to my ballistics, it'll take mule deer and elk too, as long as you pay attention, as long as you are very competent with your rifle and you are getting the accuracy and consistency that you need with a well-constructed bullet. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Rifle season for whitetail is right around the corner, so hopefully I will be able to circle back with some results of terminal performance from this Barnes and maybe a story to tell. So that's it. Thanks for watching and have a great day.